So apparently, Post Malone used hip hop. Who you with? That's funny. Hold on, that's funny. Oh, but think about it, right? Yeah, think about this. This is how he came out. White Iverson, you know what I'm saying? The golds, the crazy, the braids and stuff. He was only gonna get so far doing that, and he knew that he wasn't gonna be no white boy with gold teeth just rapping and somebody took him serious. He was gonna plateau and fall the fuck off because that shit looked stupid. This looked way more long lasting. And then plus country music is a genre that grows with you over time. See, the people that be listening to this motherfucker rapping and singing, when they turn 25 or 30 and they get a family and a job, they ain't listen to no damn white boy gold teeth, gold with braids in his head looking like a damn fool. They gonna listen to this motherfucker making songs about love and heartbreak and whatever. So I think Post Malone is smart. He played the fuck out of rap, and it's easy to play, you motherfuckers. So let's see the next one. Post Malone on becoming a country singer in 2016. That's around when he first came out. Look, he still got that look, the gold teeth and like a fucking ponytail.
Covers of like old country songs and shit and old folk songs, and that's how I started. That's how I started playing music. And that still has a huge influence on me today.
Yeah, for sure.
And, when I'm 30, I'm gonna be a country star. That's my plan.
Bam! He told y'all what he's gonna do. He told y'all we're gonna white Iverson, and he gonna become a country star on you, mother. And he did it. I don't know why people are mad at somebody that knows how to navigate music or know how to navigate their position. Because if Post Malone would have stayed like a rapper singer, he would have only went so far. You're not hitting top 100 doing rappy, singy, fucking white boy with golds in your mouth. You're just not going. You're a SoundCloud rapper at that point. He knew to pivot, like Shabuzi. Shabuzi is a fucking Nigerian making country music. He know what he doing, just like Posty. Posty know what he doing. And here's a video right here. This is called "Pulling a Post Malone." Let's listen. Look at him. Look at this. How far is this look gonna go? Look how stupid he look. He looks like a freaking gimmick. He got braids in his head, golds in his mouth. He looks like an idiot. But let's listen.
Pulling a Post Malone is essentially the biggest fear for hip-hop fans within the rap community. Basically what it is when a white person just walks into the genre without having any previous admiration for it and miraculously finds all this success, only to just later on go ahead and find a more white aesthetically pleasing genre. They either talk black or use black slang or even try to aesthetically look stereotypically black when it comes to braids or grills or jewelry or what have you, all in the effort to convince the hip-hop community, which essentially, let's be real, is the black community, that they are genuinely a fan of this genre. Now, it doesn't just happen overnight. It slowly and surely progresses, but there will be glimpses of their true intentions within due time. And once they have siphoned everything they can from the hip-hop community and the hip-hop genre, they then reveal their true form, which is eventually a country or alternative artist, which obviously may be more nuanced, but if we're going to be quite honest and blunt about it, are white aesthetically pleasing genres, at least now.
Well, I wouldn't just say a white aesthetic, a pleasing genre. Yes, country is like white people music, but at least with country, it lasts longer. You have a wider age range. You got young people, especially nowadays, you got young and old people liking country. And with country songs, you can actually you can tell stories. You got more range on what you can do. But like with the old music Post Malone was doing, all that rappy stuff, like he can only go so far. So he was smart for it. Using hip hop, getting a fan base. Hip hop got a lot of white people. And then switching slightly to pop. Then getting into country and staying into country pop. And he might throw a little rap stuff kind of in there, but it's more poppy. If you ask me, he's just smart. I'm not mad at him. He's just smart. And Lil B, the bass guy, said, Post Malone is slowly turning into a white dude. LOL. He's pushing. It'll give a few years, and he's going to be a full country. He's going to be a full country and hate blacks. LOL. Okay. All right.
Now, funny enough, this is actually something that Little B predicted literally years ago, back in 2017. Obviously, I do want to clarify that I don't believe that Post Malone hates black people. He's never really shown any sign of that. But it's such a common reoccurring theme that is literally recognizable at this point. And the reason why people have an issue with it is the fundamental nature of hip hop as a genre, being a low class, black, and people of color outlet to describe their discrepancies and their issues and their frustration with the system. I actually have a video about this from a while back where I talk about this, and at the time I said culture, and still to this day makes me cringe because that by far is my worst take without a doubt. It's not about culture, it's about black people without a doubt. You just have to realize that the culture is literally rooted within racial inequality. Post Malone isn't even the latest one to do this. Jelly Roll is a perfect example. Obviously, I don't think either of them or many of these white artists.
Let me say this: hip hop used to mean something. Hip hop used to be about pushing a message, expressing yourself, you know. And now, like, how do you call a Lil Uzi Vert hip hop? That's not fucking hip hop. How do you call? How do you call Future? How do you call Future hip hop? How do you call Lil Durk hip hop? That's not hip hop. That's I'm also call that rap music. We need to separate hip hop and rap music. Hip hop was about a message. It was about expressing yourself. It was about telling stories, whether they were your own or somebody else. It was a real true art form, and you got to showcase your skills, you know. And rap music is just, man, it's just people saying shit that rhyme that has nothing to do with each other. So we need to stop calling certain things hip hop and call it rap. But Post Malone, look, artists, you can learn a thing or two from Post Malone, right? Think of any kind of music you want to make, right? Let's say you make the grimiest hip hop, right? If you just change the sound and make it sound more appealing, like pop music, or hell, if you talk about sliding on ops over a country beat and you singing, I'm a slide on my op, like that'll go a lot further than that sound of 808s and boom boom and a generic piano that sound like it was made on a computer. That stuff only gonna go so far. That's all I'm saying. You might want to change the sound of your music and change some of the content of your music and start talking about some real life stuff, because nobody want to hear about the enemies you got up the street. We don't care. All y'all dirty and funky.
Artists have the intention of doing this. I think that they believe that is natural progression. But specifically when it comes to Jelly Roll, even though he may not have the intention of this being his aura, a lot of his new listeners at least believe that the reason why he does country music is because he's no longer a convicted felon and he turned a new leaf, and he used to be a dirty, grimy rapper, but now he's a Jesus-loving country singer. That's like his whole thing. Now, I will say, for all my gripes that I have with Eminem as a rapper, he truly is the exception to the rule because he is literally a rapper. He has never tried to be anything else. The dude is in his 50s, still dropping rap albums, with the latest being nominated. Now, I do want to clarify, this isn't really to demean any of these people. I'm sure they're really, really good people. I saw Post Malone live and he was great, and I personally know people that have met him personally and they have nothing but good things to say about it. But when you tell people real music isn't hip-hop...
Oh, pulling the Post Malone. Looking to cry. If you're looking to think about life, don't listen to hip hop. Post said in a recent interview with the polling outlet Nuance. Yeah, that's fucking stupid that he would say that. Change hip hop to rap. Then we're talking Post Malone. But you said hip hop. Hip hop is all about like crying and telling stories and making you feel something. Speaking to your soul. You got it wrong. That was really dumb of you. It's very stupid. It's rap music that don't have a soul. Hip hop has a soul with roots that run deeper than hell. But he said there's great hip hop songs where they talk about life and they spit that real shit. But right now, there's a lot of people talking. I can't see. He blocked it. Whenever I want to cry, whenever I want to sit down and have a nice cry, listen to some Bob Dylan. I guess he kind of cleaned it up, but he got it wrong. It's not hip hop. It's rap music you're talking about.
Bob Dylan, I'm going to have an issue with that.
Yeah. Let's read some of these comments, man. I mean, Post Malone was just smart. That's all you can say. He was smart. Let's read some of these comments. I'm going to be honest, bro. I never saw bro as a rapper. He was always a singer. Post Malone, MGK, Jelly Roll, saying that they all pulled the Post Malone. Charlamagne clocked it before anyone else did. Yes, he did. I don't know if y'all seen that interview with Breakfast Club, but he was on his heels. Artists change genres all the time. Post Malone was always a pop artist singer and switched to country because he wanted to, not to rob the hip hop community. Mac Miller's also an exception to the rule. Crazy reach, bro. Everyone's so mad at this when it's literally what happened. Convinced half of these comments didn't make it 20 seconds to the video. Who determines that Post Malone had no admiration for rap music prior to his success? Exactly. I'm telling you, Post Malone is Kid Rock 2.0. Everyone saying it's not that deep. Don't get it. Dude capitalized off a genre he had no passion for. Or maybe he realized how a lot of rap music it stagnates. It don't go nowhere, because the genre's been so bastardized. No one respects it. Like when I hear 808 and the hi hats and trap snares, I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. Like, switch it up, please. Do something different. Do a rim shot or something. Do a bass guitar. Do something. Hey, young lady, give me 1 second, okay, sweetheart? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, come on in here. But yeah, man. Yeah. Post Malone smart. Stop being emotional. Stop being dumb. How about you do the same thing? Hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me know what else you want to talk about. And remember, all this shit is simple. You and I are the problem. But kill you out. Peace.